What's up, y'all? Y'all like? Y'all good? It's your time. If you believe it's your time, make some noise right now. And what I'm talking about, it's your time music and business conference. This is the second year. If you came last year, put a hand in the air right quick. So all of y'all are newcomers. This y'all first time. All right, well, I hope y'all soak this information up. The panel that I have is the Changemakers panel. And I'm going to bring to you 5 change makers in their particular field. We're going to get some questions asked. We're going to let y'all ask some questions, and we're going to have a good time. If you're ready to have a good time, say hell, yo. All right, first up on my panel, she goes by the name of Reese Raps. She's the owner of Dope Events and Rapping Recipes. Y'all give it up for Reese. Reese! All right, coming to us right now from the Fleet DJs. Y'all give it up for my man Classic. Classic CEO of the Fleet DJs. All right, it's my man. He's a social engineer. He's a social engineer. Y'all give it up for my man Ty C. This next young man I'm gonna bring out, I've known him for a long time. He started a group right here in Charlotte to help our children. He is the CEO of Inspire to Fire. He is currently on television right now with a choir called Saint It. Y'all give it up for my man, Dennis Reed Jr. And we look forward to seeing you on TV, so we definitely got to talk about that today. Because you've been doing your thing. You've been doing your thing. And last but not least on this panel, I love this young man, everything that he's been doing since he's been in our city. Hey, it's my big brother, my big homie, the CEO and founder of Premier Music. Y'all give it up for DJ Chuck T.
DJ Chuck T. DJ Chuck T. DJ Chuck T.
Oh, y'all got microphones? Y'all got microphones? Y'all got microphones?
Yep,
All right.
yep.
Y'all good? Check your mic. Check in one time. Chuck T, you got your own mic over there.
Check. All right, good.
All right, so the name of this panel is Changemakers. Changemakers. Everybody you see up here is a change maker in their respective field. They've all did different things. We're going to talk about some of the things they did. So, Chuck, I'm going to start out with you. You know you're a change maker. You started a big event right here in the Queen City, Music Industry Night with the Charlotte Hornets.
Yes, sir.
Giving artists a chance to do their thing. Now, you team with an NBA team. Chuck, how in the hell did you do that? Like, how did you even get in that position to get that done?
So, first off, I live by the motto, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right? We've heard that a million times before, but it's really a personal motto that I've adapted, and it has come in handy in everything that I've done from the start of my career up until today. I have so many opportunities that have been afforded to me, and I really can say at least 85 to 90% of those opportunities weren't something that I actually had time to prepare for. There's things that have fallen in my lap, and I've just been able to capitalize off of them because every day I wake up, I give 100%. I always focus on the future. I always plan ahead. And Hornets Music Industry Night actually fell into my lap. It wasn't anything that I created, even though it's my event now, but it was created by the Charlotte Hornets, and they went into partnership with somebody who oversold their capabilities. They told them that they could get all of these big artists, all these record reps, label reps, and put together a night that basically empowered and enriched artists. And come to find out, that person wasn't able to deliver on any of their promises.
Wow.
So the Hornets rep at the time, he's from Georgia. His job was on the line because they had paid people, and those people never received those payments. They had made arrangements, and those arrangements were never, fulfilled. So his job was on the line. So he called some of his homies back in Georgia. He said, look, I don't do music. I don't really know much about music, but I know this is what y'all do. I'm in a bind. My job is on the line. Do y'all know anybody in the Carolina music industry who can help me with this music industry night that I was, basically charged with putting together by the Hornets? And they recommended me. They told them who I was, what I do, what my capabilities are. The young man reached out to me. We sat down. We had a nice meeting. And he basically told me, Chuck T, I don't have nothing to pay you right now. I have no money. The budget is gone. They've run off with the money. My job is on the line.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he said, my job is on the line. He said, but if you can pull off this event, it's yours. It's all yours. So naturally, I went in my bag.
Hey, hold on, Chuck. Go back to the part that had no money.
They had no money.
So you went in there on faith that you're going to be able to pull this off even though they ain't got no money.
Yes, because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of doing. I leverage my relationships. You know, I always make sure that when people ask me to show up, I show up for them. Not just so that I can get something out of it in return, but because I know that it's part of brand building, and relationships will always get you further than money. And also, people are your biggest resource. People think money is a big resource.
Go ahead. Pause. Say that again.
People are your biggest resource. Your connections are your biggest resource. And I went in, I made my phone calls, I leveraged my relationships, I came out of my pocket to make sure that everything went smooth and went well. I put together all of the panels, I put together all of the panelists, I put together all of the performers, and I actually moderated the panels, I hosted the event, I did it all. And it really took off. It was big. The ticket threshold that the Hornets had to sell in order for that event to be profitable was 200 tickets. We sold 400.
Right.
And they ended up coming to me afterwards, and they delivered on their promise.
Right.
They said, "Look, it's yours," and they gave me a check for $200. They said, "Thank you. This is the best we can do."
Right.
So that first Hornets music industry night, I made $200.
Right.
But this is the kicker, though. This is the kicker.
Give me something real quick.
And this is game right here. All right, this is game, and this is all facts that I'm about to speak to y'all about. When the Hornets came back to me and offered me the night, they gave me two options. So they said, you can come on, we'll pay you to host the event, be a curator, put it together. You'll be on staff, you'll be on salary, we'll give you a little check to make sure that everything goes smooth, pay you to run it, set it up, all that good stuff. I'll tell you, the issue with that was the Hornets would be in total control of the event.
Right.
I wouldn't have any control. I could make suggestions.
Right.
But I could not make the final decisions on anything.
That's the Dave Chappelle effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what they told me. Anybody who sat on a panel, anybody who performed would have to be screened by the Hornets. That means you couldn't be on parole or probation. Right. You couldn't have had a violent felony ever.
So it wasn't going to be authentic.
To me, it wasn't going to be authentic because, a lot of times as artists, we are compelled to get involved in community things. They said you can't say anything the artist or the panelists couldn't be involved in anything that was sketchy, politically, no homophobic rhetoric, no xenophobic rhetoric on their pages, no drugs, no smoking weed, no none of that, no drinking on their pages. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then they told me, or you can put up all the money yourself and do it all yourself. We'll give you 100% control of the event, and we'll work out the numbers based on the attendance. So I went with the latter.
You went with the last one. You bet on yourself. All right, Chuck, let me stop you right there. Because you dropped a lot of jewels. Y'all give it up for Changemaker DJ Chuck T.
Thank you.
Started the industry music night with the Hornets with the NBA team. He gave you a lot of jewels. One of the biggest jewels was that people is one of your biggest assets.
Are your biggest resource.
Biggest resource. Speaking of people and speaking of being change makers, everybody on this panel has something unique about themselves. I'm going to start with you, Reese. What is unique about yourself that separates you from the rest of your competition out there? Because in music, in business, in everything, it's a competition. It might be a friendly competition, but it's still a competition. So what separates you from everybody else?
I feel like what separates me is that I moved out in Charlotte in 2018, and I started pursuing music in 2018. And there was a lot of my peers at that time, and I feel like what separated me is that I didn't keep doing the same things over and over again. And I seen what worked for me and what didn't. I used to perform any and everywhere, and then I started to only perform at things that benefited me and my style of music. I also seen that if you feel like there needs to be something done, like in this market, I didn't see a lot of, when I first moved here, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for people that make music like I make to perform at, so I started throwing my own events. So it's one of those markets where you have to create the change that you want to see, and it's wide open right now to do that because there are people just like you that are looking for what you're needing. You might be that person that has to create that. So not only that, I have to keep reinventing myself and staying consistent. I've been told I'm one of the most consistent, hardworking artists out here. I mean, I haven't stopped since I started.
I'll co-sign that. I'll definitely co-sign
Keep doing your
that.
thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't stopped. Like, once I decided, like, I want to do this, I haven't stopped, whether it was, I always found a new way to do things. So now I'm rapping recipes. That's something new that I started last year.
Real quick, what is rapping recipes?
So I'm vegan. So it's
Shout out to
greasy
all the
rap.
vegans out there. They probably hungry right now,
I
but
see
shout
you,
out to all the vegans.
right, we hungry, right? So I have my main page, Reese Raps, and then I have my event page, Dope Events, my event platform that I founded. And I had this cooking page that wasn't getting no love. I would just post recipes like when I felt like it. But I was like, I like to think of like my skills as like a Venn diagram, like what can overlap.
Okay.
Like, and so for the events overlap with my music. I'll perform at an event, curate an event, then I get a crowd there, and then I put myself at prime time. It makes sense. And I get paid more than usually what I get paid on just a regular booking. So that makes sense. But the cooking page was just kind of by itself. You know, I could cook at an event, but it was just by itself. And I was like, well, if I rapped the recipe, then I didn't feel like I was taken away from my music career by just posting recipes, because I was like, I could see that going up when I was consistent on it, but I was like, I'm not a chef. Like, I'm not about to just go hard on just recipes. So when I started rapping the recipes, it opened up a whole new avenue to where in the vegan community now, to where I see tremendous growth for it. It's fairly new in the last 8 months, and I've gotten so much love. I worked with the top vegan chef in the nation.
So I gotta stop you right there. I gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
Can you do a rapping recipe for us?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Rasta pasta?
Hey.
Oh, y'all know it? Okay, go ahead.
Look, take a break from the steak and lobster and try out this plant-based Rasta pasta. It got a nice spice and it's nice and creamy. You take one bite, you gon' think you dreaming. Slice your king oyster mushrooms, put them in a bowl. Prep them for the flavor by prepping for olive oil. See, I didn't have that already.
Y'all give it up
I
for
had
it,
my
man.
orange chicken one
Rapping
ready.
recipe.
Look, we got the vibe. We got the overall vibe.
We did. That's definitely different.
Yeah, but I rapped the whole recipe. Follow Rapping Recipes is going up right now. It's finally getting pushed to my vegans and people that want to go vegan. And I'll be performing at all the vegan festivals all over the world. So
That's what's up. That is something that definitely separates you from your competition. Y'all give it up for Reese Raps.
Thank you.
CEO of Fleet DJs, my man Classic. You know that DJs, they heavily competitive. What separates the Fleet DJs from everybody else?
Well, when I started the fleet, I wanted it to be different coming from North New Jersey, because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Jersey
saying?
in the house?
Jersey. So coming from Jersey, there was no DJ crews or anything like that. So when it started, I was like, this could go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Because I started from doing a podcast back in 2001.
Okay.
Or whatever. So I started putting DJs on there and different things like that, and I started growing. So I was like, damn, this thing could be worldwide. So that was my take on the whole situation. I wanted to be a worldwide DJ crew, which I have over 700 members right now, worldwide.
Fleet
Not just
DJs worldwide. We got some in the city.
Africa, the UK, California, wherever you go, I got members there. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, and I don't look at what other DJ crews out here are doing.
Right.
So I just do what I feel is the best instinct for my crew itself or whatever. And I'm big on communication with my members or whatever. And staying in communication is a big thing for me, because communication is heavy. Just talking to these people right here or just talking to people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Communication is very key, and networking is a big thing. So my thing is separating yourself and just being different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my situation. I don't look at what other people are doing.
All right, don't look at what other people doing. Do you? I like that. Ty C, social engineer. Now, Ty C, what the hell is a social engineer? One, what do you do? And then what do you do to separate yourself from the competition?
Many titles. So I'm a creative strategist. One, a lot of people still don't necessarily know what that is. It's just a very broad title, but I run a creative agency called The Growth Concept here in Charlotte. Some people know or see me as a travel photographer as well, so I wear many hats. Okay. We do a lot, but to answer your question, I see things a little different, not even trying to sound cliche, but I don't see any competition. I put collaboration over competition.
Collaboration over competition.
Yeah,
I like it.
so
We talk about that a lot.
Exactly. So
But that's another way to beat competition is collaborate with the folks you're working with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, even in my photography journey, my agency journey, like, there's agencies and cats that I'm cool with in LA. I'm cool with people in Miami, New York. I owe everything that I've learned to competition, or not collaboration.
Right.
So I teach everyone everything I know. So I'd say that's what I guess separates us, but I'm always willing to teach and collaborate with whoever I come in contact with.
All right. Ty C, y'all give it up for Ty C. Now, Dennis. Now, you're an amazing young man. Like, I've seen you grow in this city. Now I'm seeing you on TV. You got to drop some knowledge on, man, how you took your brand, Inspired to Fire, built that. You built that into the choir. Now you're on television. Take us through the journey and what separated you from the rest of the competition.
Okay. What's up, Charlotte? How y'all feeling? Okay. Make some noise if you brushed your teeth this morning. Make some noise if you put on deodorant this morning. Make some noise if you look better than the person sitting next to you right now. You know? So, y'all ready for this?
She don't look better than me. What you talking about? You ain't gonna try me? I'm just saying. Go ahead.
How do I separate myself from the competition? God.
Amen.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm telling you, because if you're following God, then you're going to be locked into your purpose, right? And it's easy for me to get up here and I guess pretend like it was like some dope strategy that I had.
Right.
But it wasn't a dope strategy. Like, it was literally, I was following God. And when you're following God, you know, you're already different because we're all created differently and wonderfully, right? And the last thing I'll say is, if you're following God, then that means that you're trying your best to follow his principles. You're trying your best, meaning, so if you're honest, you're different. You know, if you're a person of your word,
right,
you're different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're leading with love,
you're different.
You're different. So, again, we can give you insight about it all. And like you said, I have my hands in so many things. But literally, Larry, it is not because I had some grand strategy. I mean, those principles that y'all shared are a part of my story too, but it's literally all God.
Gotcha. Y'all give it up for God. If you ain't gonna give it up for God, I'm just playing.
I'm just saying.
Nah,
though.
I'm dead serious. But now, real quick, before we go to Q&A, you're actually on TV right now. Tell us about that real quick.
All right.
We got to big up, you know,
Okay.
because you from the city. We got to big up all our artists from the city
appreciate
that's doing
that.
big things. So go ahead and talk about that real
Listen,
quick.
God been doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? So myself and DJ Fannie Mae, we founded a group called the Sainted Trap Choir. I don't know if you guys have heard of us, but I was raised in church, but I love hip hop. You know, it's just time for dope stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Where worlds that you wouldn't expect would collaborate or collide do. So me and Fannie started the Sainted Trap Choir. We got a call from NBC last
You said
year.
NBC like where Cosby used to be shown? Like
Yeah.
that NBC?
That NBC.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. National NBC. Like, we on real TV.
Real TV.
We on real TV.
We on
Okay,
real
all right.
TV.
I'm just checking.
Again, so producers found us out. She was following us. Shout out to Courtney. Last thing, we did it. First of all, this was my second time on the show because I took my kids about 15 years ago, Inspired to Fire Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization.
Shout out to Inspired to Fire. I remember them.
So I did not want to do this. Like, I was like, when they called and they was like, you want to go on? I was like, hell no, I definitely do not. But we wound up going. We did our thing. It went well. We got beat by some dogs.
Not the dogs. You ain't gonna beat them dogs.
The dogs won.
People love their dogs.
Season 18.
Not me.
Which happened the last time I was on. Shoot. Anyway, black people don't be watching America's Got Talent anyway.
Don't do that.
Long story
we do
short,
watch that show. When black people on there.
Well, you know. Long story short, though,
Yeah.
y'all, we did our thing on season 18. They called us back for a spinoff show. This new spinoff show is Fantasy League, where the judges compete against each other. So the judges recruit you. So we're on Simon Cowell's team, and it's going to be airing January 22nd. Sorry for the long.
Hey,
Next
give
Monday.
it up. Give it up.
Give it up. All right. So we do these panels. We do it for you, the artists. That's why you paid your money to come to the It's Your Time conference. We do this for y'all, and this is my favorite part, Q&A. If you got any questions for anybody on the panel, including myself, you just raise your hand. I'm going to come to you, and then you get to ask your question. Let's go. We got right here. Here we go. Yeah. It's all good. We can hear you. Upcoming artists. You want to collaborate? Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm looking
What's your
for
name?
collaborators right now.
Huh? JoJo the GOAT. Y'all give it up for JoJo the GOAT. Say he want to collaborate.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm looking for artists that are, so I have a residency starting back up at Crown Station February 15th every Thursday. And this time I'm going about it differently, where I'm looking for artists that want to throw their own events, and we can support you with like the marketing and pushing it out on our email list and having the staff. So if you're interested in that, definitely be on the lookout, DOAP events.
That's dope. Anybody else got a question? There you go. What's up? You got a question in the back? Here we go. Cadillac, what's up? Yeah.
Hey, my question is to Classic CEO of Fleet DJs. All right. The question is, how do I contact you? Because I got the bread, I want to put a single out, and I wanted to hit all of them. That's what's up.
Okay, that's very easy.
Just email me, thefleetdjs@gmail.com.
What's that?
thefleetdjs@gmail.com.
Thefleetdjs@gmail.com. Every artist should know that.
Got
That
you
man,
covered.
he just told you he got 800 DJs across the country. So if you got a single, you need to be emailing him right now. I know I would. Come on, what you got for me? Right here. Here we go. We got the mic coming to you. Here you go, big dog. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Hey, what's up? My name is Skippy Skip. I'm from Raleigh.
What's up, Skippy Skip?
What's up?
Riley in the building.
Yeah. All right, well, this is not so much a question, just kind of an extension of a point that was made several times yesterday that kind of no one touched on, so I wanted to kind of offer my 2 cents, if that's
Go
all
ahead,
right.
big dog.
Okay, so yeah, yesterday a lot of people were talking about the importance of owning your music and everything, and of course, I agree with that, and you know, part of what they were saying was, oh, you know, if you're using someone else's beats and everything, you've got to pay them, you've got all this licensure, you don't own your songs. Well, one point I want to make about that is, okay, I released my second album last year. I produced the whole thing. I played all the instruments on the album. There's only 3 songwriters on that album, and that, including me, and the only reason there's that many is because 2 of my songs were covers. That's the only reason there's even that many writers. But anywho, my point is, a few years ago, I read this article that was pretty interesting about a lot of people talked about Nas's Illmatic album like it's a hip-hop classic and everything, but the trouble is, it also signaled the end of an era because there's like 10 songs on the album and 5 producers.
Bro, we need you to speed it up. Please.
All right,
Speed it
okay,
up
but
for us.
anyway, my point is, okay, go to every classic rap album up
Yeah.
to that point. You know, 3 Feet High and Rising was produced by Prince Paul. Every Public Enemy album was produced by Terminator X and the Bomb Squad. You know, Rick Rubin produced LL Cool J and BC Boy albums, but my point is it's just like, you know, having too many producers and everything, and if you're just downloading beats off of the internet and everything, it makes you lose your focus and everything, and instead of having one or two solid visions for your album, you've got a whole field of it, and you don't have an original sound, so that's why one thing, so it's like the importance of having just one or two producers or a team of producers working together on a common vision.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Understood.
Thank you. Last question. I'm going right here. Go ahead, my big dog. Real quick.
Sorry, how y'all doing? My name is Dapper Dawn. I'm an artist, songwriter.
Stand up, please, sir.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
Yes, sir. Artist, songwriter. I have a question, honestly, because we have different entities on the stage. You have Reese, he's a curator. Class is a DJ. Ty is a social curator. You know, Dennis, he got his Sainted Trap Choir. Larry, you a DJ, everything. In the space where a lot of people are, you know, that I speak to sometimes saying that music sounds repetitive now. What stands out to you guys when another artist approaches you with their music? What is it that's catching your ear when, you know, in the state of everything was sounding the same BPM, all that kind of stuff?
You asking that to me or to Fleet?
I'm asking
DJ?
everybody.
Everybody on the panel? What stands out to me is emotion. Like, I'm an emotional person, so like I like to hear records that got emotion in it. And every person is different than what they like to hear, but for me, if it invokes emotion, whether it's make me want to slam somebody, it make me want to cry, it make me want to move, it make me want to dance, I'm an emotion person. And I could tell, like, listening to your music, if you really put that emotion into your record. If I don't feel it and I don't feel it from you, then I'm not going to feel your record. That's me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I look for the business behind the record first, because at the end of the day, everything is an opinion as far as the taste of the music. Like, we hear music every day on the radio and on these playlists, and some people would say it's trash. The next person gonna say it's the
dope.
shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's subjective as far as, is it good, is it bad, what you like. Naturally, audio quality has to be mixed and mastered, but I personally look for the business, all right? Is it registered with media base? Is it copywritten? Is it registered with a PRO? Do you got your MRO? You know, what does your marketing behind the record look like? That's what I look at first, because at the end of the day, just because I like a record, if I play it, and none of that stuff, and No Limit Larry can tell you this firsthand, they played a lot of songs on the radio that weren't registered with media base, and it shows up in the system as a ghost record, and now they got to pull the record out. You know what I'm saying? And the business has to be done. If the business is done, then we can work something out, because we'll find a market that's going to like it.
We'll find somebody like it. Somebody going to like it. You want to answer that real quick?
Yeah, it's like a million artists out here. So like Chuck T said, it's the business. So, you know what I'm saying? If your stuff is not registered, it's like it never played. So you got to make sure your business is right when you're doing your songs and stuff like that. And make sure you have a clean version, a DJ pack.
Amen.
Clean, dirty instrumental acapellas for your songs and stuff like that.
I get that's the number one. Hey, do it got to be clean? Yes,
Don't
it has to be clean.
don't just send me your dirty and don't send me your Spotify
Send
link.
everything. Real quick, you'll be the last question. Go ahead, real quick. So we're going to get those out. Everybody will be giving out their Instagram in a second. Okay. All right. But go ahead, since she asked you.
It's DOAP events, dope events. And one thing I did want to say while I was up here that I didn't get to touch on, utilize grants. Y'all apply for grants. ASC Charlotte, Arts and Science Council. I've gotten close to $50,000 in grants to do events and artist stuff. So, and you don't have to be a grant writer to get those grants. So, Arts and Science Council, they have artist support grants. There's one open right now that opened on the 8th called Culture Blocks Grant. I got it last year. It's up to $20,000. And if you have an idea that you want to bring to fruition, you can get grants to help assist you. But also having a resume and doing the work first, it makes it easier to get those grants. But I'm Reese Raps. Y'all can ask me any questions about that. It's REECEERAPS is my main page. Then I have Dope Events, DOAP Events, and then Rapping Recipes spelled correctly.
All right, keep going down. Let's go ahead and give out them Instagrams before we wrap up the panel. Like, how can folks get in touch with you on your Instagram, social media?
everything for me is at Fleet DJs, fleetdjs.com. We do a conference every year. This year it's in Orlando, Florida, July 18th to the 22nd.
I'm coming.
Check out the Fleet documentary right now on Tubu, how it started.
All right.
My name is Ty. Everything is at TYGC _ at the end.
Okay, and look, I get a lot of calls for different things. So I do vocal coaching. I just vocally coach Fantasia for her role on Color Purple, all of that stuff. Yeah,
sir.
she killed
Yes,
it.
sir.
I have a company. Well, if you want to join the Saint and Trap Choir, we're gonna be auditioning later this month, right? And then I always get different calls for like either tours. I'm doing some corporate stuff, Make-A-Wish Foundation, all of these different types of things where I need to cast singers, I need to cast dancers, and all of that, content creators. So DM me literally on Instagram, THE Dennis DENNISREED Jr. All right, the Dennis Reed Jr. DM me, and I would love to connect with you. And you're getting paid, so.
Yeah, it is. Chuck T.
DJ Chuck T on everything, at DJ Chuck T on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and if you pull out your phones, I'm gonna give y'all my phone number. All right.
You gonna give out your phone number?
843-279-8483. Text me. All right. Text me. 843. Still got that South Carolina area code. 843-279-8483. Again, 843-279-8483. Shoot me a text.
And I'm at I am No Limit Larry on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. I am No Limit Larry, real easy. So y'all give it up for our great panelists, Changemakers.
Love y'all.
We will be available if y'all want to talk to anybody. So y'all give it up. And thank y'all. And thank y'all for tuning in and listening. We appreciate y'all.
Toxic trait is I can heal you. My toxic trait is I can build you to be the man I see with me.